Thank you, Chair Collins, and thank you for your opening statement and for your strong and clear-eyed leadership on the difficult issues that face us in this budget. To Ranking Member Reed, for your partnership and the balanced way in which you've conducted yourselves. Mr. Secretary, I cannot convey how deep my disappointment is with HUD's budget proposal this year. As someone who spent 10 years in county government, first as a county council president, then a county executive, I have personal hands-on experience in the impact that CDBG and home funding can have to help severely disadvantaged, vulnerable populations all over this country. Senior citizens, those with disabilities, veterans seeking rehousing. I'm really stunned at how broadly the deep cuts proposed in this budget would affect vulnerable populations in our country. I know firsthand how CDBG and home works, and I've seen its impact. I was struck that you suggested, I think somewhat casually, that although well-intentioned at its outset, CDBG has been used for things like flowers alongside highways or spay and neuter clinics, when on HUD's own website, the 2016 annual performance report on CDBG says that it created 18,000 jobs, supported 50,000 single-family rehab projects, and served over 200,000 seniors. Yet in your testimony, you say the CDBG program hasn't demonstrated a measurable impact on communities. It seems to me I could spend the rest of the afternoon giving you concrete and specific examples of how CDBG and home has been used in my home county, in my state, and across this country. And on HUD's own website, it has been demonstrated to have an impact that advances HUD's core mission. What's the problem? Where is this tension between your testimony that there's a lack of measurable impact and my personal experience, HUD's documented experience, that it has had a significant, constructive, and positive impact across this country?
Well, Senator, thank you for your long history of service to our country. Very much appreciate it. I don't think you heard me properly. I didn't say that CDBG was a bad program and that it hadn't done anything good. That's not the issue at all here. The issue is we have a certain number of people who are housed right now, and we don't want those people to be unhoused. Now, we could just say, let's fund CDBG at home because those are such great programs, and let those people fall where they may. We've chosen not to do that. We've chosen to look at what is essential and prioritize, not saying that the other things are not good. I'm not saying that at all.
Well, I was struck, Doctor, in your, Mr. Secretary, in your testimony that you didn't choose to pick examples of CDBG and home helping people find housing, supporting the disabled, helping veterans. You chose two almost insulting examples that suggest, I think, without any foundation, that these are frivolous or wasteful programs. I understand you have to make priorities, but as my predecessor in this seat, former Senator Biden, many times said in my home state, show me your budget and I'll show you your values. I think we are a country that values community development and affordable quality housing, and I think your agency in particular is charged with carrying out that mission. I'll tell you that lead remediation is exactly one of the things that we use CDBG money for in Newcastle County, and the city of Wilmington just used CDBG funding to abate 150 homes of lead hazard. So I'm struck by your suggestion in passing that the budget, and I think I quote with reference to the home program, recognizes a greater role for state and local governments. As a former local government official, I think that's a very generous way of saying we're sticking you with the bill and we're abandoning a program that shows terrific leverage, local control, and has a demonstrated record of high impact. How do you have any expectation that state and local governments will actually make up the nearly $1 billion shortfall the elimination of this valued program would lead to?
Again, I would hearken back to the initial statement that I made, and that is there are certain priorities that it is essential that we accomplish. And if we don't, all the other things that we're talking about become almost irrelevant. So it is absolutely essential that we continue to provide the rental assistance that we are providing. It's absolutely essential that we deal with the homeless situation that is going on in this country. Would it be nice to take care of all the? Absolutely. I can't tell you how much I would like to be able to do that.
Well, I'm encouraged to hear you suggest that you have no fundamental objection to CDBG or home, that this was a matter of prioritization. The chair suggested at the outset that it was prioritization within a budget presented to you. It's my hope that we will work together in a bipartisan way to reverse what I think are unwise and unsubstantiated cuts, and that we will do our role as the Appropriations Committee to set a better values priority for this government overall. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.